Next is one I just got, Gunstar Heroes. Did a trade with Pinball Reviewer. There's the manual. This is complete. I did play it. It's a very fun game. I might do a review of it someday. Not sure, but a lot of people seem to like it. Alright, next is Jam It. This is sort of a basketball game. It's not sort of a basketball game. It is a basketball game. This is complete. It's made by Virgin Games, and they've made some pretty good games in the past. Next is Tony La Russa Baseball. This is also just the cartridge. Next is Mortal Kombat 3. This is complete. I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but they are okay. I guess the reason I'm not a huge fan is because I'm not good at them at all. Next is Miss Pac-Man. This is complete as well. This is a pretty fun game. It's slightly different than the arcade version. There's like a bunch of different maze types you can choose from. Next, this is kind of new too. Box complete copy of Mutant League Football. Oops. Well, it has the 2 trading cards in it. Of course, the cartridge. It has the manual. There's like a little, not really a playbook, but some sort of little biography on some of the characters. And it also came with a poster, but the poster's actually on my wall. And then last for now, or in that load, is NBA All-Star Challenge. This is complete too. It's a pretty fun game actually. I was sort of shocked because I really don't like sports games, but this one's sort of different. It's like different, like kind of basketball mini games. I like to play horse against the computer, even though I suck at it. Okay, moving on. Next up is NBA Live 96. Complete. After that is NHL 94. Now this does not have the manual. And then after that is NHL 96. This one actually has a sticker on it I need to get off. This one does have the manual. And it has this too. It's a poster. Here's the poster. Here's the manual. And here's the cartridge. You know, it never hurts to pick up a sports game for cheap, because you never know when you could use an extra case. But the bad thing is the EA cases have the big games, so sometimes you can get screwed over on that. But next is my PGA Tour Golf 2, my box copy. This one has a manual and the game. This manual is massive. This manual is huge. It has... I just looked in here the other day for how many pages it has. 90 pages in this manual. It's ridiculous. Too bad they don't make them like this anymore. Next is a fun one. Predator 2. This is complete. It's a pretty fun game. It doesn't really have much to do with the movie, I guess, but it is pretty fun. After that is another really fun game. RoboCop versus Terminator. Complete as well. This is a really fun one. I highly suggest that one. This is sort of new too. Revenge of Shinobi. Complete. I won that in a eBay auction. Sort of snuck in at the last second and won it. Next is Rocket Knight Adventures. This is also complete. This is a very good game, but it sort of throws me off, and I don't end up finishing it because it a lot of boss battles in this game, and it just sort of, you know, turns me off to it. But it is a pretty good platformer nonetheless. Next up is Shadow Blasters. This one's complete as well. After that is Shinobi 3. This one is complete. It's got a folded manual, but I fix that. Shinobi 3. This is also good. Return of the Ninja Master, it's called. Alright, I'm going to have to try and finagle some deal. Oh, that'll work. Next is Sonic and Knuckles, complete. Well, there goes the manual. Here's the manual. And this is one of those cardboard cases, and I really don't want to fold it out because they are kind of a pain, but here it is. After that is Sonic the Hedgehog 1, the not for resale version. This version is complete as well. After that is Sonic 2 complete. Not for resale version. But I don't know quite what that means. A lot of them seem to have it. Does that mean it was like a boxed in game with a console? I don't really know. After that is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. This one is also complete. After that is Shadow of the Beast. This is an EA Sports game. I only really got it because they had a couple of posters in it that I was interested in. I kind of like posters, so I got it. After that is Sports Talk Football 93. This is complete as well. And next up is Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition. This one has no manual. Next up is a personal favorite of mine, Streets of Rage 2. No manual again, but I got it basically for free, so I didn't turn it down. Great game. Next is sort of new too, Sunset Riders. This one is complete. It's a fantastic game. It's sort of like a Contra set in the Old West, made by Konami too. The next is a Super WrestleMania. This is complete. This is actually a Mega Drive game. It's a Super Hang-On. It's in Japanese, I believe. The manual's in Japanese. This cart is very interesting. It's a Mega Drive cart. It's sort of rounded. It's pretty cool. I kind of like it a little bit more than a Genesis cart. A little more stylish, I think. It's shiny metal, or shiny plastic. So that's Super Hang-On. And also the box has no hang tab either. Next is Target Earth. This is complete. I only got this mainly because I had an odd cartridge and the back of the game looked pretty fun. And it's a decent game. Coming down to the last few here is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. This is complete. It's a fighting game. Next is Thunder Force 2. This is a shoot 'em up. This is complete as well. I've heard Thunder Force 3 is better, so I might have to look into getting that. Next is Tommy Lasorda Baseball. This is complete too. And then last of my box Genesis games is Vector Man. This is complete too. See if I can find that manual. Oh, the manual's in behind the cartridge, so I won't get it out. But it is complete. So that's all my box Sega Genesis games. Alright guys, next I'm going to do my Sega 32X games. I only have 5 32X games. I'll start with my loose carts. The first one is 36 Holes, starring Fred Couples. It's a pretty good golf game. Next after that is Knuckles Chaotix. This is a really fun game. I wish I had a box copy, or at least a complete copy for sure. But I found a loose copy cheap, so I took it. Next is in alphabetical order. First is a complete copy of Doom. You know, this game gets a bad rap, and, well, it's not as good as the PC version for sure, but it is still pretty fun. Next is Motocross Mania, or no, Motocross Championship. Sorry. And the last is Virtual Racing. This is actually a pretty fun game, for its time anyway. Alright, and next is my Sega CD games. These are in alphabetical order for the most part, except for the last one won't be. The first one is Battle Core. It's a first-person game. It's you're a robot. It's kind of interesting. Next is Bouncers. You play as a basketball. It's a basketball game, but you play as the ball and you have to bounce off your opponent to score. It's actually a pretty fun game. Next is Echo: The Ties of Time. It's basically the Genesis version with some full motion video scenes cut in. Next is Lynx: The Challenge of Golf. Actually, this game is not very good. It's a kind of a poor golf game. Next is NHL 94. A lot of people say this is the best hockey game. It is a pretty good game. Next is Sylphid. This is actually a shooter. I'm not opening these up, but they are all complete, obviously. This is a space shooter. It's sort of got polygon graphics, but it's a unique game, and it is pretty fun. It's a lot more fun than some space shooters. Next is the Sonic CD. A lot of people think this is the only reason to own a Sega CD. I don't think that's the case. It's definitely a great game, but there are some fun ones out there. But if you have a Sega CD, you definitely need Sonic CD. Next is Starblade. This is also a shooter at the polygon graphics, and it's pretty fun. It's made by Namco, and I'd recommend it, I guess. This one, it's Star Wars Rebel Assault, and it's just mediocre. They could have done a lot more with it, I think. What's cool is that they did film some full motion video scenes, especially for the game. So that's neat. Next is Stellar Fire. This is sort of a space shooter as well. It's sort of a first-person perspective. And you're shooting down like aliens. It's okay. Last is probably my favorite Sega CD game, The Terminator. This is a run and gun. I love this game. Can't recommend it enough. And then last, this one's not alphabetical for a reason. Soul Feast. It's got this little case that it came with. So I don't stick it with the big cases. I stick it at the end. So that's that. Alright, I'll do my Game Gear games. I only have a few. First is PGA Tour Golf 2. It's a really fun golf game. I don't know if you can see these. I'll open them up, I guess. It's PGA Tour Golf 2. Next, everybody has this game, I think. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Next is a motorcycle racing game, GP Rider. And last is Shining Force. Now, I actually have another copy of Sonic 2 and a copy of Jurassic Park, but they're actually in the box that my Game Gear's in, like the actual Game Gear box, so I didn't include those. And this is my last Sega console. These are my Dreamcast games. Whew. First up is Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. It's a decent game. After that is Crazy Taxi, a really fun arcade game. You should know about that one. It's pretty fun. Evil Dead, Hail to the King. Huge disappointment for me. It's not very good. After that is Kiss, Psycho Circus. Now, this is better than Evil Dead for sure. It's a first-person shooter, but I have a problem with the controls. I haven't given it much time, but it is pretty good. Next is Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. This is a pretty good game. Next is Ready to Rumble Boxing. This is a pretty fun boxing game. After that is Sega Rally Championship. Is that? Oh no, Sega Rally 2. My bad. It's a good racing game actually. Very fun. Next is Tee Off Golf. I sort of made my own case for this one. This one's a really fun golf game. If you're into golf games, pick that up for sure. Next is just a web browser. Then last and certainly not least is Worms Armageddon. This is a very fun party game. Hey guys, it's Cobra, and this is my these are my boxed, well, not necessarily boxed, but all my consoles, or things of that nature. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll start with the Model 1 Genesis. Now, it's the high definition graphics model. It does not work, however. It's broken. It produces audio only, no video. So it's broken. Next is something I'm very glad to have. It's my Model 1, another Model 1 with a 32X attachment. Works beautifully. It's even got this little thing here that came with the 32X. It's supposed to help, but I don't really know if it does. And something cool on this is there's a little Sonic decal thing on there. So that's kind of cool. It gives it a little character, and that's what I play my 32X on. My next loose console, if you will, is 32X. Or Sega CDX, rather. It's a CD and Genesis all in one. Works great. Wish I had the box for it, but I don't. That's very hard to come by. And next is a newer console to me, but nonetheless a great one, is the Sega Dreamcast. Great console. I need to get some more games for it, some more of the classics. I do have Sonic Adventure. My buddy got that for me. That's coming. So that's fine. So those are my loose consoles, and now we'll get on to the oldest to the newest with the box consoles. The first one is my boxed Master System. It's got everything in it, so it is complete, and the box is a little rough up top, but it is in fine shape. Gotta thank the Atari Junkie for sending me the box in a trade. Big thanks to him. Next is my boxed Model 1. I love this box. It's very cool. It's got Sonic on it. It's the Model 1. This is also complete. It's even got the instruction manual. So that's cool. Yeah, I actually do have 3 Model 1 Genesis consoles. Only 2 are working, and the third one just sits around. It doesn't work. Anyways, next is my Model 2 box Genesis. I don't think this has all the manuals, but I don't really care. Pretty cool. The box is a little rough here, but I got it anyway because it was a steal, basically, of a price. Next is, I guess, the Game Gear. This is also boxed, clearly. Game Gear's inside it. I need to get a new Game Gear console because the speaker went out on this one. So I'm on the lookout for that. But also got to thank the Atari Junkie for that, who did a trade. Next is my box for my 32X. It's not in here because it's on that Genesis there, but I do have the box for it, so that's cool. And then next is a kind of a cool thing. It's a Gen Mobile. This is actually like a Sega Nomad kind of, but it's very little, very small console. Just the screen on this is actually smaller than the screen on my phone, but the games just go right in there. It's very compact, but it works, and it's got a better battery life and all that than the Nomad. Not as collectible, but still pretty cool. And I have the box, so that's cool. And then my final Sega item in my last box is for my Dreamcast. This is actually an empty box, obviously because the Dreamcast is out, but I don't even have the cardboard for it. I wish I did, but no. So guys, that's it. I'm sort of out of breath after all this, and that is my entire Sega collection. You know, it changes basically every day almost, so who knows what it'll be like in a few more months. So that's it, guys. More collection videos. I think I only have like one more to go. So stay tuned for that, and thanks for watching. Next is one I just got, Gunstar Heroes. Did a trade with Pinball Reviewer. There's the manual. This is complete. I did play it. It's a very fun game. I might do a review of it someday. Not sure, but a lot of people seem to like it. Alright, next is Jam It. This is sort of a basketball game. It's not sort of a basketball game. It is a basketball game. This is complete. It's made by Virgin Games, and they've made some pretty good games in the past. After that is NHL 94. Now, this does not have the manual. And then after that is NHL 96. This one actually has a sticker on it I need to get off. This one does have the manual, and it has this too. It's a poster. Here's the poster, here's the manual, and here's the cartridge. You know, it never hurts to pick up a sports game for cheap, because you never know when you could use an extra case. But the bad thing is the EA cases have the big games, so sometimes you can get screwed over. This is a pretty fun game. It's slightly different than the arcade version. There's like a bunch of different maze types you can choose from. Next, this is kind of new too. Box complete copy of Mutant League Football. Oops. Well, it has the 2 trading cards in it. Of course, the cartridge. It has the manual. There's like a little, not really a playbook, but some sort of little biography on some of the characters. And it also came with a poster, but the poster's actually on my wall. Next is Tony La Russa Baseball. This is also just the cartridge. Next is Mortal Kombat 3. This is complete. I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan, but they are okay. I guess the reason I'm not a huge fan is because I'm not good at them at all. Next is Miss Pac-Man. This is complete as well. And last for now, or in that load, is NBA All-Star Challenge. This is complete too. It's a pretty fun game, actually. I was sort of shocked because I really don't like sports games, but this one's sort of different. It's like different, like kind of basketball mini games. I like to play horse against the computer, even though I suck at it. Okay, moving on. Next up is NBA Live 96. Complete.